Welcome to Jazz Time. JazzTime.com is an online store that buys, sells, trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so our customers can easily choose the best watch for themselves in the comfort of their own home. If you like this watch and would like to purchase it at the lowest price anywhere online, click on the link in the description below to buy it at JazzTime.com. Today, I'm going to be reviewing the Royal Oak self-winding chronograph in rose gold with a black dial on a black leather strap, reference 26240OR.OO.D002CR.01 or 02, because this is the 50th anniversary, but it's more or less the same as the regular non-50th, the only difference being the rotor, which is why this review is going to cover both of them. Okay, so I'm going to first talk to you about the history of the Royal Oak, then tell you about where this watch stands in relation to others in its same class, then talk to you about the bezel dial case bracelet movement, and finally try it on and give you my thoughts. So let's start with the history. The Royal Oak is Audemars Piguet's most famous, most iconic line. It's what put them on the map and really is largely responsible for their success. If you're talking about which watch is their most desirable and most iconic, it's the Royal Oak. The Royal Oak was designed in 1972, that's more than 50 years ago, by Gerald Genta, and it was the first luxury sports watch in the world. And it was first created as a mock-up in gold and then a first release in steel. And it did not that great, but over time it caught on and it became one of the largest sections in watches. There's many kind of watches, as you can imagine. There's dress watches, there are sports watches, and sports, it used to only be dress watches. Now sports watches are just as big of a category, maybe even bigger, because many people are into sports and like a sporty watch, which makes sense. And the Royal Oak was a perfect combination of all of that, being both a sports and a luxury watch, and also made by a premier watch brand in the name of Audemars Piguet. So there you have it. That's a little bit about the history. And over the course of 50 years, there's been thousands, I don't want to say thousands, I want to say hundreds of variations of the Royal Oak, as you can imagine. It's kind of like the Porsche 911 Turbo, if you will. There's been many variations of it since its release, and rightfully so. It's a fantastic car. So Audemars Piguet, it's no different for watches. Okay, now let's talk about where this watch stands in relation to others in its similar class. Now, this watch is on rose gold with a black leather strap. You could also get it on a bracelet, and it's 41 millimeters. Now, AP is making their Royal Oaks for many different sizes. It's their most popular brand. So for ladies, they make it in size 33, 34, 37, and even 38. For men, they make it in size 38, 39, and 41. And so this is the largest of the men's size, and most men are actually going to probably prefer this one. And I would say those who have a 7-inch wrist or larger probably should be wearing a 41 millimeter that you see here. Okay, so this is the largest of them. They actually make one even larger as a grand complication, but no one, it's very, very rare. So for all intents and purposes, 41 is the largest. Okay, anyways, so they make the Royal Oak 41 in many different complications. They also make it in date only. This is the second most complicated, which is chronograph. Then they make a perpetual calendar, which is more complicated. Then they make a tourbillon, which is even more complicated than that. And then they make a open work, which is kind of like a skeleton dial, which is probably even more complicated. And then they have even crazier stuff like grand complications. So this is in the very beginning of complications. It's not the most simple, it's the second most simple. Okay, and they make many different variations. Gold is one of the top levels of them. So there you have it. It's like a low to mid pack in terms of how expensive and where this one stands with relation to other ones. Okay, now let's go ahead and talk about the case. Now the case here is a 41 millimeter case. It has this watch replaces the old reference number, which was, I think it was 26331, and it has some new modifications that make it all the much better. Let's start with the first one. The case is still 41 millimeters, but the way that they polish the case and they keep the beveled edges is nicer on the model that you're looking at here. It has a thicker beveled edge, and it has the same basic polish, which is satin finish on the top with high polish on the edges. That's what you have. And the very recognizable lugs, you can hardly call them lugs because it's almost like a solid piece of gold. Okay. And the bezel, of course, which is the most iconic part. It is the most iconic part for many watches because it's the part that you see most easily. It's the very front of the watch. Just like in Rolex, they use a fluted bezel, which is their most iconic part. And the Audemars Piguet has this octagonal bezel, which is their most iconic part. So it all kind of makes sense. This is their Datejust, if you will. Okay. So, and it's very beautiful. Okay. That is the bezel and the case, 41 millimeter in rose gold. Now let's move on to the dial. The dial has some upgrades from the previous dial. They make this dial in black, green, blue, and white, or they call it silver. Now this one's in black, obviously. What makes it better? Well, they made the hands a little bit fatter, so they're easier to read. They made the hour markers a little bit fatter too, so it's also easier to read. It has the same grand tapisserie dial, which is this sort of a little waffle looking thing on the dial. It's actually very beautifully done. And, you know, well, I mean, as you can see. Now, what is different from the previous generation is that the date at 4 o'clock is moved out toward the periphery. Why? Because the movement is bigger. Before, the movement was smaller. I think it was like 28 millimeters. Now it's 32 millimeters. So it's improved by like 20%, which pushed the date wheel out to the periphery, which is where it should be, and also move the subdials out toward the periphery where they should be as well, because before they used a smaller caliber, put it in a larger watch, but they couldn't change the position of the subdials. In this situation, they actually used the correct caliber, or I should say they invented the new caliber, and that's what caused the layout of this to look much more perfect. And in my opinion, now it's a perfect. I don't know how they could really improve it. So I bet that they're going to keep this for a very long time. As in, they're going to keep this model for a very long time. Of course, every few years they change the model, but I think this one they're going to keep it for a very long time and just improve, do different variations of it. Okay, anyways, that's the dial. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about the strap. Now, the strap is also changed. It's not the quick release strap. However, the strap before, this is a black leather strap. You can also put it on a rubber. But what is nice about this strap is that it has this dual deployment, or this butterfly clasp that you simply press or kind of pull up here, and it opens, and it allows it to sit right in the center of your hand. Before, they used to have this really terrible it was an AP folding clasp. It really looked it really sucked badly in that you could not, it would sit very lopsided on the watch. It would cause it to rise and sort of just be lopsided. And now in this situation, it's not lopsided at all, because this butterfly clasp opens and both sides, they both open, and it sits flush, absolutely flush. So it looks really perfect, if you ask me. And it's also nice to look at, right? And okay, and then so that's it. Oh, I forgot to talk about the thickness of this watch. Sorry about that. Let's go back to the case again. I forgot to mention this. You know, AP is known for having a big, huge watch, but why would this one is not really that big? And why? Well, if you look at the watch on its side, it's actually only 12.4 millimeters, which is not thick at all. If you, by comparison, a Daytona is about the same. So, and a Daytona is 40 millimeters and 12 millimeters in height, and this is 41 and 12. So it's pretty much the same. Although it looks a lot bigger than the Daytona, but the thickness at least is not thick, and that's a very good thing, because it allows the watch to fit under the cuff, and if the thinner the watch, the more wearable it is. Okay, and less fatigue on your arm it is, and it also just not so cumbersome. Okay, so anyways, all right, so that's that. I talked about the case. Now let's talk about the movement. Now the movement, as I just told you at the beginning of this video, this review is going to cover both the 50th anniversary and the non-50th. This is a caliber 4401. it has a diameter of 32. And why is that important? As I told you, the old diameter was around 28, too small. This diameter is bigger, which allows it to fill the back and look much more beefier of a movement, and allows the subdials to be pushed out toward the periphery, and also has a longer power reserve, and it also looks better. Okay, now the 50th is what you see here. They only produced it in 2022 in commemoration of the 50th anniversary of the Royal Oak, and they did so with this beautiful 50th rotor here. Now, what happens on the rotor is that for watches, they match, it's really quite awesome actually. The rotor, they match the rotor to the material of the watch. So let's say the watch is, in this case, rose gold, they match it to rose gold. But if the watch was in steel, they would not use steel. Actually, they would use platinum, so it would be a platinum rotor. Platinum or white gold, I'm not sure. I had to check that. But I know they use a precious metal, and then they match the material of the rotor to it. And so it actually makes the watch look much cleaner, much more flush. And instead of using a generic rotor that they use on all of them, they use one that matches. And they only do the 50th one time. On the 50th, there's no 51st, 52nd, and so forth. They just use a regular AP rotor. So that's what makes this one kind of more special in that sense. And there's only a limited amount of them. So yeah, okay. Anyways, that is the rotor. Now let's go ahead and try this watch on. I'm 6 foot tall, 200 pounds. I have a 7.5 inch wrist. And as you can see, the watch looks really nice on me. I recommend this for anyone who has a wrist size of 7 inches or larger. That roughly comes up to like 150, 160 pounds. If you have a wrist size of that larger, then you can wear this one. If you don't, I suggest you wear a 38 or 37 millimeter watch, because that would probably fit you better. But many people do have a 7-inch wrist or larger, so what would I suggest? Now, there's a lot of hype around the green and blue dial. I would actually tell you that is just hype. I'm not so sure you should spend your extra money on that one, because at the same time, the practical aspect of this, and me having sold thousands and thousands of watches and listened to thousands of customers, I know from experience that just because the watch looks great, like with this green color, doesn't necessarily mean you want to have a green watch everywhere. So having a black watch is very beneficial, or a white watch is very beneficial. Why? Because, well, you can actually wear the watch around, and you're not going to have any issue with it. And in terms of matching your clothes, matching green is not a very easy color to match. It's a beautiful color, but it doesn't really match anything. So having black, which is a very universal color, and ultimately a watch is an accessory. It accessorizes you and allows you to look amazing, so you want to have a watch that complements you, not the other way around. So anyways, that's my take on black dial. I really think it's a great watch, and at the moment it's still selling above retail because it's quite a difficult watch to get, but it's not selling that much above retail. So it's come down quite a bit. And look, if you like it on leather, as I told you before, you can actually buy the strap, and we sell the strap, or the bracelet, that is, the metal bracelet with it, and you can just buy it from us. It's in like the low 30s, 32 to 35K or something like that, and we can sell it to you, and you can put it on. It's really actually no difference. In fact, if you were to have this watch, let's say you were bought at the authorized dealer, and you decided, you know what, I want to have a gold bracelet for it, you could just go to them, buy the bracelet, and put it on. It's 2 screws on either side. It's not a huge modification. It's like taking the wheels off your car and putting on new wheels. It doesn't make it like inauthentic. It's still the same thing. And actually, if you went to the dealer, that's what they would do for you anyways. Okay, so I'm just telling you, if you liked it on leather, you can put on leather, keep it a little more casual. But if you want to, go big baller and just put it on a gold strap or gold bracelet, you could do that also. So that's the good thing with it. And okay, anyways, look, if you want to buy this watch at the lowest price anywhere online, click on the link in the description below to buy it at jazztime.com.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to Model as seen in video, click on it, and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at jazztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in JazzTime, plus the brand, model and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.